Wednesday, December the 30th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here along with you. We have an unsettled weather day for today. I'll give you the specifics for the Belt Bowl forecast coming up here as we go through today's edition of the video. And as we look ahead, I'm going to take a look at the long range here in today's video too. Take a deep look out into January. I'll also talk about a chill down here for the very beginning portions of 2016. So, let's get right into it here. We will begin with a peek at the Greensboro Tower camera this morning. There's some patchy fog still in parts of the region. The tower camera location there in Greensboro itself not looking too bad. Humidity at 96% though, still quite humid out there. And you can note there on the visibility chart some areas of fog here and there for a little while longer this morning. Around parts of the Triad area on up into the central Virginia rather, you have a dense fog advisory remaining in effect. Check out the Charlotte time lapse from the Dowd YMCA camera. Wound up being a pretty nice afternoon in many locations across the region. Now the wedge held firm in the Triad, but boy, around the Charlotte zone, it was a nice afternoon. Look at the highs. Raleigh up into the 70s yesterday. Same deal with Charlotte. Columbia hit 80 in Jacksonville, 81 in Greenville. But you notice there in the Triad, 50s. Winston-Salem and Greensboro, Reedsville, that's where the wedge held firm. But you had Burlington at 70 and Asheboro and Albemarle at 73. All the Charlotte viewing area with the exception of Statesville and Salisbury in the 70s yesterday afternoon. Wound up again being a pretty nice day. Now there's your temperatures this morning. Relatively mild, certainly very humid conditions around the region. And the radar really beginning to light up off to the southwest of us. You notice the showers breaking out there and expanding in coverage in South Carolina and Georgia. And we're going to continue to see this activity blossom occasionally. There's been some thunderstorms this morning north of Columbia. And it's really beginning to expand in coverage. The rain and storms there in parts of Alabama and Mississippi. That is all lifting up in our general direction. And so you get the idea. We will certainly be looking at the possibility of embedded showers and thunderstorms. Yesterday, look at that. The Charlotte airport recorded 1.22 inches of rain. Not as much in the Triad there. In fact, about an inch less. A little over a quarter inch officially at the PTI airport yesterday. All right, so here's the deal today. Low pressure riding up the I-85 corridor, spreading a lot of showers and embedded thunderstorms up in our direction. Let me show you the high resolution modeling perspective there, and you get the idea. Just waves of showers and embedded thunderstorms. It's not going to rain all day, but at any point in time today or this evening, we're fair game to pick up some showers and storms. So for the Belk Bowl in Charlotte, my Mississippi State Bulldogs taking on the NC State Wolfpack. The good news is it's going to be mild, upper 60s, but there will be rain. It could be a little bit heavy at times, and there is a possibility of a thunderstorm or two rumbling through as well. Again, it's not going to rain all afternoon, I don't think, but there will be areas of rain and a few embedded thunderstorms. Do have a flood watch in effect for a lot of the region. Already have a lot of completely saturated ground conditions. And most of our streams and lakes, they're already at full capacity, if not in flood stage, so not going to take a lot of additional rain to cause some flooding issues today or this evening. Now let's talk temperatures. It's obviously pretty mild across the southeast, and a lot of cold air heading our way there, at least in the northern plains and the Rockies, and that's kind of bleeding in our direction. Now let me pause the video, and before we go any further, I want to real quick talk about rain totals. So there's what the GFS, the 0Z run, is printing out across the region. And I'll zoom in here. And that's the total rain amounts today, tonight, and into tomorrow. You notice, again, not a ton of additional rain. In fact, actually a minimum over Charlotte on the GFS. That'd be good news for the Belk Bowl. But that's, I think, kind of an anomaly. That's I do think showers and some embedded thunderstorms roll through. And I'll shift this down south. And that's where your rain totals really ramp up through the I-95 corridor and over toward the coast. Could be 1 to 2, maybe 3 inches of rain down that way. And finally, there's a peek at the European rain totals, a half to 1 inch for the I-85 corridor, and then you go further eastward over 1 to even locally 2 inches of rain. All right, back to our temperatures there. And again, that chillier weather bleeding our way. I'm going to give you some long-term thoughts in just a moment. But here we go with New Year's Eve. Could be another little wave of some rain rolling through portions of the eastern Carolinas, maybe scraping through the eastern half of the Charlotte area and extreme southern parts of the Triad viewing area. There's your highs tomorrow as we begin to step our temperatures down. First day of 2016, some lingering clouds, but primarily dry. And again, we continue to cool things down. There's your Friday highs. Chilly high pressure, the main weather player over a lot of the country this weekend. So I do expect plenty of sunshine Saturday and Sunday on into early next week. And there's your Saturday highs. Sunday looking relatively chilly across the region too. And actually it appears there'll be a reinforcing push of chillier weather for early in the work week. So we'll be probably looking at some 40s for highs, even mid-40s maybe in parts of the region for Monday and Tuesday of next week. Let's talk long-term very quickly. Check this out. Here's the Arctic Oscillation. It plunges deep down into the negative territory. The NAO, the North Atlantic Oscillation, eases down toward neutral. And the PNA, the Pacific North America, it shoots strongly positive, indicating West Coast ridging. So a lot of the indices you look at indicating a much, much colder scenario as we get into January, especially maybe the second week of January. And there's a lot of indications I've been keeping an eye on of that January, say 8th to 14th to maybe 8th to 16th time period. There's some storminess involved there too. So that's definitely something we will keep a watch on as we move forward. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everybody have a